I am not a sound designer in a traditional sense. So with that said, let's get into it and let's have a great episode. Today we're going to play a game called Name That Sound, where I choose a paper from this bag with the description of a sound. And whatever that sound is, we're going to make it unique from scratch. So now I'm going to go ahead and pick the sound. Oh snap, of course. So it looks like today we're going to go ahead and make a screech. So I guess let's go ahead and open up Sylenth. We'll use Sylenth to make this patch here. So we've got this initial sound off the bat. There's our sound. Init patch. Let's go ahead and make sure this is a sawtooth wave. Sawtooth wave. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of going for a raw trap kind of like a raw trap vibe here. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get the voices to 8. Phase, pan, detune it. Just pressing buttons, baby. Nice, okay. Let's get some distortion going. Get some chorus going. Let's get some EQ. Let's go ahead and play with... Let's play with the pitch A and B. I like that. So basically what I've done here, I've played with the detune and the phase. I've panned oscillator A1 all the way to the left and oscillator A2 to the right. And basically it's kind of doing the kind of technique that I'm going to set up anyway, but in the individual sound, so I can, you know, modulate them and give it some a nice panorama effect. Now then I play with the detuning, and that which is the core of the elements in you know, any type of screech really. And then I play with the mod envelopes on the pitches to kind of give it its shape, well, how we want to do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in some mixer effects, and we're going to shape this thing up here and see what we can get. Let's grab some overdrive. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring in some reverb. Some treble. There we go. I like that. Now it's kind of sharp. I'm going to take some of this body out. Give it some more here. Now in the chord, you know, -3 and +3 is one that I like to use because it gives the sound some more body, as you can see, and some more detuning. Yabba dabba doo. So now let's play with part B here. So now in part B, this stuff is going to be playing in the center of the sound. From modulating part B on the pitch, we're giving it some even more character, and now it's just kind of turning it into something pretty cool here. So I started playing with the attack of mod envelope 2, modulating pitch A and B. Kind of got lost here, just playing around with how this sounds here, but now we've kind of got a... So to recap what we did here, starting with part A, detuned it and did some weird detuning stuff. Just as like when you're making stuff, it just goes to how, you know, what do your ears. It's all about your ears. It's all about your ears and what things sound like to you, what you want things to sound like for you, rather is a better way to say it. So screech can be done or not done. It just depends on what your use case wanted to be. I just wanted something very raw. And like we said in the beginning of the video, I was looking for a very raw sound, and I think we achieved it here with this kind of very squealy, pitchy screech kind of deal thing. So make sure if you guys have a name for this sound to comment down below. But now let's run through these things one last time here again. So played around with the oscillator A and A1 and A2, pitched A1, panned A1 to all the way to the left, and panned A2 all the way to the right mostly, and then played around with, you know, to your, you know, ear's desire with the phase detuning and voices. And the waveforms are saw. So they sawtooth waves, and then went in and played with some filter type. But the filter is not really important because we can do that with an auto filter or anything. It's nice that Sylenth has that option in house, so that's nice. But moving on, we then added some distortion in. very, you know, moderate distortion, I'd say, with the stock Sylenth distortion. Then we went to the chorus, added some chorus to just further enable this panoramic effect that the Screech is really, you know, versatile in. And then we went and added some reverb. Sylenth stock reverb is extremely nice. That's all I use when I'm making Screeches, is the stock reverb. It's really nice. And that's what we did there on part A, and went into part B and then modulated. Well, I guess that stays the same, huh? Yeah, some things I know, some things I don't. I just know when I did this, it made this sound. That's what you gotta kind of understand. Everybody has their own kind of learning ways and understanding things. I'm just press buttons, and I know the general direction of where I'm gonna go, and I'll get there when I get there. You know, the main parts of making these Screeches is all in the mod envelopes, playing with the pitches and all these other options you have here. This area right here, that's the hot spot. That's where you gotta focus and kind of understand what the hell you're doing. But yeah, we made that sound. Let's use that sound. Here we go. Just kind of making a pattern here. And now we're going to go ahead and auto filter this bad boy up. Like so. Like this. Use this auto filter. Let's be in the key of E. Grab some effects here. What type of snares can we find? This is just going to be real quick, real simple. Just to show you guys how we're going to use this sound here. How you can use this sound and how I would use this sound. Just quick, you know. What's this? That sounds like boo-boo. And go ahead and throw in some kickstart. I'm gonna go ahead and grab something that is you know, pitched right, that I can understand. Right there. Nice. And now we're gonna bring this down because this is gonna play our accent. And then we're gonna give this bad boy some bass. Nice. So we've got this sound right there. Basic loop, real quick. Now, how are we gonna use this sound? Well, we're just going to play around with our hands. Get another one here going without this. Woo! So, you know, there's so many things you can do. You just have to figure it out. Okay, so it's just a matter of playing, and there's a bunch of things that we can kind of, you know, play around with, and I will leave the actual patch to this, leave the actual file to this patch for Sylenth in the description down below. So if you want that, you can get your hands on it quick and easy. This is just a down and dirty. Yeah, this patch will be available down below in the description. Other than that, you know, this is name that sound. If you have a name for this sound, but disclaimer, it has to end with Screech. So whenever you pick the name from the bag, right? If it's a Screech, it has to be the so-and-so Screech. If it's a bass, they're like a bass or lead, the so-and-so lead, you know? The taser lead, the bubbly Screech, you know, like whatever, you know? So, give me your best name down below. Making this whole thing right here just sounds like this. Something very simple, down and dirty. And, you know, obviously this is basic. This is just showing you just a very simple, simplistic implementation of the sound. Obviously it needs a lot more fine tuning, but it's a starting point. You know, we've made the sound, and now it's like, okay, you got to get creative. You know, I would, you know, make another layer of it and pan it one way and pan it another way, or I don't know what I would do. But, you know, it's a sound that is definitely usable. We made that Screech. Can you name that Screech? If you have a name, make sure you post it down in the comments below. But yeah, you know, this has been Name That Sound, and boom.